We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie.
And she's Brenda. Bum, ba, da,
Hi,
ba.
everyone.
Yay! And Grogu is back. Grogu is so excited that Brenda's back.
I'm so excited to see him too. He's so cute.
Oh my gosh, we missed you.
We did. And we are on the road with Mickey. This is episode 184 for September 4th, 2023. And this week we're continuing our series on our looks at the things we like about the different lands. And so this week is our top 3 things we like about Liberty Square.
Yep.
I don't know who might like Liberty Square. I mean,
Really?
does
I mean,
anyone,
what is there to like?
really
Really?
like
boy.
Liberty Square?
Okay, wait a minute. That's
Just wonder.
too close, Daddy. Them's fighting words.
Okay. Well, moving on. First, we're going to go through some cheddar from the big cheese. And Brenda and Sophie have cheddar. I don't have any cheddar. I got Brenda, Sophie cheddar. So, Brenda,
Oh.
you start us off.
Well, there is a new date announcement due to Hurricane Idalia. The virtual grand reveal event for the Disney Treasure has been rescheduled for tomorrow, Tuesday, September 5th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So you can join them and see everything they know about the Disney Treasure, which is going to be amazing. It's in the Disney
Yeah.
Wish family. It's like the sister ship of the Disney Wish. So I can't wait to see what's going on with that ship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, all right then. I guess it's all about safety, but I understand.
Yes.
Sorry. The hurricane's kind of messing with my head. I've been thinking about it a lot. But anyway, going over to the West Coast, coming soon to Disneyland, a Haunted Mansion expansion. Say that 5 times fast. Haunted
Exactly.
Mansion expansion. The Haunted Mansion at the Disneyland Resort will receive eerie enhancements in 2024 with an expanded outdoor queue and a new Madame Leota themed retail shop at the attraction's exit. I have to wonder if it's kind of going to be like Memento Mori over in Liberty Square, which, by the way, we're talking about today. So,
I wonder.
I
perfect
wonder.
segue,
Could
if
Yeah.
I do say so.
Could be.
Yeah. I'm thinking the outdoor queue is going to be a little bit like what we have in the outdoor queue for
Mm-hmm.
Disney World now. But
Might
still,
be.
I think it's kind of neat. I think it'll be neat. And, you know, the
Yep.
retail is
Super
retail,
cool.
but still, I think it'll be neat to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to go.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is our quick cheddar this morning. So it is time to move on to our feature topic, our top 3 things we like about Liberty Square. And we are continuing our series on the lands of the Magic Kingdom with a look at Liberty Square. So, Brenda, you are starting us off this week.
Oh, really? Okay. Well.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you got something to write about, talk about.
Oh, come on. Everyone loves Liberty Square.
Yes. And you know, I was thinking about this and I was trying to just put myself, like, not pick things. I ended up picking things. What can you do? But
Right.
overall, my favorite thing about Liberty Square is that no matter when you go to Walt Disney World, it's always both Thanksgiving and Christmas because it's always Thanksgiving at Liberty Tree Tavern and it's
Mhm.
always Christmas at Ye Old Christmas Shop.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I like that. I like having those
Yeah.
experiences no matter when I go.
Yeah. So, is that your first thing?
That's my first thing.
Okay. I wanted to make sure
Is that
that
it's
wasn't
always
like an
Thanksgiving
intro
and
to
it's
your
always
first thing.
Christmas. Nope. Nope. I like that. It's like a special treasure thrown
It
into your trip,
is.
no matter when you go, to me. I love the Christmas shop. I love Christmas. I mean,
Hmm. I don't think there's anyone here that doesn't love Christmas, and if you are,
no.
then, well, humbug to you too, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Well, unless you don't believe in Christmas. We love everyone.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes. Well, that's good first opening. And
I
that's
know it's
true.
kind of weird,
And it's
No.
also a really good way to kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah. So now it's like Brenda has 4 things on her list.
I know I still just have 3.
Well, but 2 are in number 1. So there you go.
Like I said,
Just
killed
saying.
2 birds with one stone. And speaking of something like that, it's my turn.
Yay.
And of course, I had to go right off the bat and talk about the most obvious thing that I like about Liberty Square, and that would be that creepy old mansion nestled in the back of it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. I love the Haunted Mansion so much. So much. And in fact, when I found out about the new Loungefly October collection, the
Mhm.
one that has a stretching room inspired Loungefly coming,
Do you
do
have a
you know?
picture?
I do. I'm sharing it right now.
Nice.
Oh, goodness.
Look at that.
I sent that to my mom and I was like, "Hey, look at this." And she said, "Cute." And so now you know exactly what else I want for Christmas.
Very cute.
Oh my gosh, it looks so cool. And the portraits actually stretch on it. I love the Haunted Mansion so much.
That is neat.
Okay.
So much.
That
So
would be a
your number
great gift for
1
you. Perfect.
your number 1 is the Loungefly Haunted Mansion collection?
Just the Haunted Mansion, the Loungefly is roped into that.
Mhm, mhm,
I know. I'm just kidding, Sophie.
Hmm.
Messing with you over
Okay.
there?
Messing with her. Messing with her. Well,
Indeed.
number 1 for me is somewhat odd as well, but I wanted to say it before someone else says it, and that is the Liberty Boat ferry boat ride. And
Nice.
Liberty Bell, I mean. And I like it because I don't do it every time, but I like it because it's a unique look at some of the stuff you see in Liberty Square, and also you can see some of the things from the train that you don't normally see. Um, and so I just like the idea of taking a riverboat cruise, and
Nice.
so that's an easy way to do it. And so the Liberty Bell is on my list.
Very good.
That is a very good one.
Very good. I'm looking for my list. I'm looking for my okay, well, I can't find my list, but it doesn't matter because no one is going to be surprised by my number 2 because it involves food. And of
Yeah.
course, it involves my favorite Nutella waffle. That is my
Sleepy
breakfast of
Hollow.
choice at Sleepy Hollow. Yes. I love that Nutella waffle so much. And Sleepy Hollow is just, you know, I I can't imagine how many times we've all been to Sleepy Hollow because it's like a favorite for all of us. And it is consistently really good. The service is great. The food is great. It's just a really good place to go and get a special treat and get your cup of ice water for free, people. Um, just a great place to go.
Yeah.
To be fair, there are lots of places you can go for free ice water,
That's
but
true.
Sleepy Hollow is just amazing.
Yep. So good. I like the
And
chicken and waffles too, but the Nutella waffle is my thing.
me, I'm a chicken and waffles girly, so you can have your Nutella waffle.
Thank you.
I will get something a little more filling, or maybe I'll get a funnel cake. It depends on how long the line is.
Yeah.
Yeah. They keep it moving right along though. I mean, the service is great there.
They do. They do.
That's it for me. Number 2.
Oh, all right. What about you, Sophie? Number 2 on your list.
Well, here's the thing. So Aunt Brenda has already stolen 2 of my entries, so I am literally changing them as we go here. because I don't want to say the exact same things as Aunt Brenda, and that's why I said the Haunted Mansion first. But
Aw.
since I have so many extras to spare, it's all right. I don't mind. And of course, what was once Sleepy Hollow is now the Columbian Harbor House.
Columbia.
Columbian. Mm,
Columbia
it's the
Harbor
Harbor
House.
House.
Yes. Which is a very unique restaurant.
It is
Yes.
because technically it is in Liberty Square, but it also borders with Fantasyland.
Yes, it
And
has.
there are seats within the restaurant itself where you can sit on one side of the room and be looking right over the queue for the Haunted Mansion. And you can go over to the other side of the room and see Rapunzel's tower and the bathrooms associated with it. It is a
I love
really,
that bathroom.
really cool. I know, we all do. It's a really cool restaurant,
It's
and
beautiful.
it's one of the few places in Walt Disney World where you don't have the complete unbroken theming. The thing about Walt Disney World is they love to make it so that when you're in one specific spot of the park, you cannot see other things that are, you know, outside of that land. So say if you were in Adventureland, the buildings with the Sunshine Pavilion and the Skipper's Cantina, those are there specifically to hide your view of the castle so that you don't see it. When you're in Tomorrowland, obviously it's very easy not to see other things. When you're in Liberty Square, sure, it feeds right into Frontierland, but they're so similar that it's okay. You never have any break in that suspension of belief,
Mhm.
except for the Columbia Harbor House. I don't like how you corrected me on that. I'm going to keep stuttering over it, Daddy. The Columbia Harbor House is one of the few places where there is that clear break, and it's actually a little bit refreshing to me because it reminds me, hey, I'm not stuck in this place that has no bathrooms. All I need to do is go under that archway and I'm good. Because
Yep.
Liberty Square is notorious for not having any bathrooms.
Well, not only that, but those lobster rolls are killer over there.
That's true.
I've
It's a
never had
great
a
big
lobster roll.
service.
I
Yeah.
never had any interest in a lobster roll because it
Mm-mm.
always felt like way too much breading for what you got in the filling.
And me, I just don't like
So
lobster.
I love lobster, but I like it hot with butter and
I will stick
not
to my
mixed with
fish and
mayo and so
chips.
forth. But anyway, um, the neat thing about Columbia Harbor House is that it has the two entrances, one on the Liberty Square side and one on the Fantasyland side, and um, and the theming for the entrance is unique to each land. So that's what's really neat to me.
Yep.
So, and that's kind of what Sophie was talking about. But that to me is just really neat that it does cross over.
Yeah.
So,
And of course, there was that one time where we were in line for Peter Pan, and the line was so long, yet moved so quickly that they actually had us going
going,
out of the queue and through the Columbia Harbor House and then back into the line queue for Peter Pan. It
yeah,
was
Yeah.
very funny,
that
but
was
also,
COVID Q.
Yes, it was.
yeah, but
Very
also
spaced out
it
queue.
moved very quickly, so I did not mind it one bit.
No, nope.
Yeah.
So
Those
anyway,
lines looked so long, but they weren't. They just looked that way.
It's
yeah,
because we were all spaced out, and honestly,
Yeah.
it was
I
exactly.
didn't mind
nice.
it at all. I didn't mind it at all. I would do that in a
Yeah,
moment. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some people don't want to be all smushed together.
Yep. It made it way more bearable.
yeah,
So, yeah, Columbia Harbor House, fish and chips, and suspension of disbelief.
yep. All right. Well, for me, number two is the Hall of Presidents.
Nice.
I like the Hall of Presidents. I like the foyer. I like the lobby. I like the fact that in the Hall of Presidents, you actually have one of the rugs from the seal of the United States of America,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's there and it's actually sent there by the government, and that's why it has the railing around it that so you can't step on it. But that is, to me, that's really neat. But what's really neat to me is also being able to see all the history in the foyer before the show, and then learn all about the presidents afterwards. And you know, it's Disney. If it's blazing hot, it's a great air conditioned space.
It is. Oh my
But
gosh.
That's right.
that's not the biggest reason for me, but it is a good reason. Um, but to me, it fits right in with Liberty Square and what it's about, which is the history of this country, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes Liberty Square unique. And it's such
Yeah.
a cool area.
Yeah.
So
Not to mention the Hall of Presidents. You would think in this day and age that the Hall of Presidents would be a spark for controversy and politics. It's not.
no,
It's not. It is treated with the reverence and respect that it deserves. And I don't think there's a single person in this country who could not appreciate it, or at least everybody should, regardless of what side they're on.
yeah, they should.
Do you know also that years ago I learned that the Imagineers were so detail oriented about the Hall of Presidents that they actually built leg braces and did the glasses for the
Uh-huh.
presidents with glasses are the prescription of that president. I mean,
Wow.
down to freaking minute details. And
Wow.
they are amazing. I just
Yeah.
can't get over the creativity and the just authenticity of everything in there.
Yeah, that's really neat. That is really neat. I wouldn't have known that. And you wouldn't ever know
You would never know, but they
because you're
know.
not that close.
Yeah,
But that didn't matter. They
they
went
know.
to that degree anyway because they knew it, otherwise it wouldn't be exactly right.
That's right.
Cool. So I wonder if George
Amazing.
Washington's teeth are wooden.
I don't know.
I
I don't
don't know
know.
either. Anyway, moving on. That was my number 2. So Brenda, what's number 3 on your list?
Okay. I'm going to try to say this. I don't know if I'm going to hang on long enough.
What?
um, when they built Disneyland, Walt Disney really wanted a Liberty Street because he wanted he wanted a patriotic street, and they
Mhm.
couldn't do it. And I love Liberty Square because they made sure that what he wanted got put there, even though it was after.
He passed. So it's your closest Magic Kingdom place that Walt would have wanted.
Just grateful that they made sure
Yeah.
it got put there.
Yeah.
And I love just sitting there,
Oh,
That's awesome, Brenda.
that is.
That's awesome.
And Brenda, we need to talk because for some reason, everything you're saying, with the exception of the Haunted Mansion, is lining up with what I want to say.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all heart.
Oh,
It's all feeling. I can't, what can
and
you do?
Brenda, your face is a little bit wet. Are you okay?
Yes,
No, she's okay,
I'm fine.
Oh,
but
well,
that's a powerful thing, and that you know that that's why Disney holds this place in
Hmm.
our hearts.
That's right.
yeah.
Even with chaos of some decisions, not going there, but even with that chaos, that's the reasoning why we all still like Disney is because of the man and what he did and how he tugged at our heartstrings in a time when we had no idea what we were missing until we were there.
Yep. And now his
Yeah.
brother carried on that legacy out of love
Mm-hmm.
and then died right after. I mean, the whole thing is just love as far as I'm concerned from start to finish.
It is.
Yeah.
The entirety of Walt Disney World parks, that entire thing, it started out as a gift.
Yep.
Well, it didn't
Yeah.
start as a gift, it started as a dream, and then when it was completed and first opened, then it became a gift.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
It became a gift from one brother to another. And that's why we have statues like we have the Walt and the Mickey partner statue in the center of Main Street. And then there at the beginning of it, we also have the statue of Minnie sitting with Roy.
Yeah.
And you can tell just from the way that Minnie is looking at him, she is saying, "Thank you."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the partner statue actually points to Roy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just love everywhere. It's it's indescribable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it is indescribable, but we're going to try and describe it
Yeah.
because,
Because now
um,
I have more stuff to say, and I'm not
yeah,
letting go of this just because Aunt Brenda said it.
yeah, but also coming October, we're going to be one of our topics is what keeps bringing us back to Disney.
Oh, well, there
So,
you go.
Oh
so at
gosh.
some point, we're going to be talking about the same sort of thing, but in
Good
more
luck.
detail on October. In
I
October.
imagine we're going to need a lot of tissues for
Yeah.
that episode.
Yeah. There's several tearjerker heartstring ones that are coming up down the pike, people. Just be ready.
But yeah. Piggybacking off of what Aunt Brenda started, Liberty Square, and you'll notice this, there is nowhere in any of the other Disney parks that has a land exactly like Liberty Square in Walt Disney World.
Exactly.
Uh, Disneyland has New Orleans Square, sure. It's got the Haunted Mansion, it's got that American theming to it, but it's not Liberty Square. And in Disneyland Paris, the Haunted Mansion isn't even in a Liberty Square, it's in the Frontierland, Thunder Mesa. You will not find another colonial village type setting in any of the other Disney parks. It is unique to Walt Disney World. And it is honestly, it's the heart of what makes Walt Disney World, especially the Magic Kingdom, special. I even look at the map and you'll notice it's slightly to the left of the center. The heart is slightly to the left of the center of the chest. It is literally the heart of the Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is so absolutely important. And every attention to detail,
Yeah.
everything about it just screams that it was a passion project made out of love and care and a respect for a country and a man who adored that country.
Yep. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're absolutely right, Sophie. And you're absolutely right, Brenda. And I could talk about the same exact thing. And in a way I am. Because I think I'm gonna give two. Because I
Go right
gotta
ahead.
mention I gotta mention Haunted Mansion because Haunted Mansion,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's my background again this week because it's a focal point of Liberty Square. Um, so it's an important thing, and I really love the Haunted Mansion just as much as Sophie. Probably, well, I love the Haunted Mansion. I don't think I could love it as much as Sophie because
That
she.
is Sophie's
But,
baby.
Sophie's a
That's
little bit
right.
silly.
but anyway,
Didn't
it
she
is an
choose the
important.
Haunted Mansion as the place she would spend the night if we were locked in the Magic Kingdom at night?
Yeah,
And you said Swiss Family
Listen,
Treehouse, and she said Haunted Mansion.
yeah,
listen. Leota has some good bedtime stories.
that's true.
And I'm
But
sure Constance Hatchaway would not want the neck of a girl instead of a husband number 6.
yeah, but back to me because it is all about me right now because it's my number
Yes,
three.
yes.
Haunted Mansion is on my list, but it's also um, and Brenda touched about it, about the Imagineers and how much level of detail they went into. And I love the historical elements of Liberty Square. It's kind of a similar thing to what you're saying. But
Mhm.
for example, I think if I remember correctly, is it 1789 the number at for the Hall of Presidents, the number over the
Double
building?
checking myself because I'm actually pulling up various details about Liberty Square as we speak.
Yeah. But I think it's 1789 and that's because of the
That's why.
year that that the Constitution and whatnot was signed, and ratified and so forth. I can't remember. Don't hold me to that. But all the little details about Liberty Square are historically relevant. They're historically accurate.
Accurate. Yeah.
You know, and that just it's what really makes that such a unique environment, and like
Yeah.
Sophie said, there's no other Liberty Square in any other park that matches.
And
Yep.
give us some examples of that accurate portrayal of the land.
Well, for starters, uh, I was looking through the details as I said,
Hmm.
and I just want to point this out really quickly before I get on to the huge thing. The Liberty Tree. The Liberty Tree. There is actually a tree in Liberty Square called the Liberty Tree. It is the oldest tree in the park.
Hmm.
They dated it back. And on top of that, I don't think any other land in the Magic Kingdom has a plaque like this, but at the official entranceway from Main Street into Liberty Square, there is a plaque that reads this: Liberty Square. Past this gateway stirs a new nation waiting to be born. 13 separate colonies have banded together to declare their independence from the bonds of tyranny. It is a time when silversmiths put away their tools and marched to the drums of a revolution, a time when gentlemen planters leave their farms to become generals, a time when tradesmen leave the safety of home to become heroes. Welcome to Liberty Square.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are so many different details about it. You are literally stepping back in time into this place. They have not spared a single expense except for maybe electricity. But even then, Ben Franklin did find that. So,
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yep. It's
And
a
you know
very
what?
unique area.
Liberty
yeah.
Square is the smallest land in the Magic Kingdom.
And you know what? Well and good that it is because it does not have any bathrooms.
And you know what else? It has more places to eat than attractions, and it's the only one that has that.
That's
Hmm.
true. That's very, very true.
And we're all about food, so
Oh,
we
yeah.
like that.
We love our food. I'm
Yep.
just saying. I'm just saying.
Yep. Don't
American food
bypass
is top
Liberty
tier.
Square. Definitely spend some time there. It's worth it's worth visiting for sure.
Yes. I remember when I was in elementary school, I believe, my parents wanted to take me to Disney for my fall break, and we wanted to spend a little more than just the allotted 4 to 5 days that I was allowed off at Disney. So my dad was like, "Hey, Sophie, I am going to pull you out of school, but we have to make a deal. You have to convince your teachers that going to Disney is an educational experience." And I was like, "How on earth am I going to do that?" And he's like, "Liberty Square." And I'm like, "Liberty Square? That's the most boring place in the park." And
Oh
he's like,
yeah, you used to hate history. Now
"Oh,
what
yeah.
happened?
I found out about the American Revolution, actually. I
Yep.
had no idea it was a real thing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
See,
Yep.
it wasn't until about, I want to say third grade 3rd grade when we actually started studying the American Revolution that I was like, hold up, you're telling me that people actually did this?
Yeah.
Why didn't you say so? And then all after that, all the gloves were off, all the strings were pulled, all the stops were unstopped. History. Up until we got to World War II, because that was just a little bit too recent for me.
Very good.
All right. Well, moving on. I think we've done justice to Liberty Square. Have we, girls?
I think we have to.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I'm going to close the book on our feature topic, and I'm going to move us on to this
Some
day
more
in
history.
Disney history. Yep. So September 4th. Sophie, take it away.
All right, I had some trouble deciding on this. And for those of you who were listening into our Fantasyland episode when I talked about Liberty Square there and joked that I would find something Fantasyland related for this episode, I could not. But I do remember how I talked about people getting lynched for Fantasyland, and I found something that is very dark and of equal caliber. And it happens in the year of 1918. Where the postal employee Walt Disney, who is a substitute mail carrier, is walking through the West Adams Street lobby of the Federal Building in Chicago when he hears a deafening blast that shakes the ground. Someone had planted a bomb. More than 75 were injured and 4 were killed, including a co-worker of Walt's named William Wheeler. The force of the blast also killed a horse on the street, damaged a streetcar, and shattered windows of the nearby buildings. Walt said this, "I was in the post office. I had just got through sorting my mail or finishing my route. I was walking out, going out a certain entrance when it was bombed. I was right in the lobby when, boom, this thing went off. Here comes the dust shooting out and everything. That was the way I went out every night. I missed the darn thing by about 3 minutes."
Yep. Wasn't meant to be. He had things to do.
Yep.
Now
Yeah.
imagine if he had been 3 minutes off.
Boy, our world would be way different, wouldn't it?
Way sadder,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's part of why I wanted to also mention today being my grandpa's birthday.
Yay.
You know, he was born in 1913 and he passed away in 2011, both on September 4th. But the simple fact is that in 1978, my grandma and my grandpa retired to Florida. And in 1979, we flew down to visit them and they took us to Walt Disney World. And that was my very first trip to Walt Disney World. And if they hadn't retired to Florida, I might never have been to Walt Disney World, you know?
Yep.
And I will never forget it because I wrote about it also. But I'll never forget back then it was just the Magic Kingdom. We drove up World Drive and you drove forever, like 5 miles. And it was like there was nothing there. Absolutely nothing there. It was one long road. And then you parked and you got on this thing, this monorail that was so futuristic. It was like you had left Florida and you found this monorail and you rode this monorail around and then you saw that castle as you start approaching the entrance to Magic Kingdom. And when you get to there, you get off the monorail and you go underneath the railroad tracks and you come up in this whole different world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was deliberate and that was intentional that you were leaving the audience and entering the production. And that to me is why Main Street is my favorite area of the Magic Kingdom because you are now part of the performance.
Have
And
we talked about this before? Because my first visit was also 1979, and that would be really something if I actually saw you during that time.
I
we
think we
did talk
have
about it,
talked.
but we determined that the timing wasn't
Oh,
the
okay.
right timing. It was the
Okay.
same year, but not the same month or days or whatever.
Oh, darn.
So,
Okay. Yeah, we stayed
but
at the Contemporary. It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen in my life.
yeah. But anyway, so with today being Grandpa's birthday, happy birthday in heaven,
Happy
Grandpa.
birthday.
Happy
Happy heavenly
birthday.
birthday.
I
And
called
it
him
wouldn't,
Poppy.
yep, it wouldn't have happened. I may not have ever been to Disney World if
So
it hadn't been
wonderful.
that first trip that they took us on, you know?
Thanking God for him today
Yeah.
and every
So,
day, I'm sure.
yeah. So it's history for what happened back in the day, but also history for relevant personal history too.
That's great
Mhm.
history.
So good job, Sophie. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
All right. I have a great character. Oh
Dun
my
dun
goodness.
dun. Stump the Soph.
I
Good
don't
luck.
think I'll stump the Soph.
I don't think so.
Last week I stumped her.
No. Who was
Yeah.
the character?
Who was the character? Flower.
Flower the skunk from Bambi.
Oh, wow.
And the reason it's a stumper is because there's
You
not a
used
whole
a
lot of
word that I
detail.
didn't know.
It
Oh.
was yeah, Twitter pated. You
Twitter
remember in the
pated.
movie when
That's
he says, "I won't get Twitter pated like all those other people are," and then he does anyway.
now see, one would think that would be something way, way, way more modern than Bambi.
Yeah,
So of course you threw
Really,
me
you would
off.
think with Twitter. Exactly. I agree.
it's not that kind of Twitter,
But it sounds like it.
but it's
let's
not. Anyway,
let's
this
hear it.
character, moving on to this week, this character loves clothes.
Barbie.
Barbie's not Disney. Come on now.
Oh yes, she is. She's in Toy Story.
That not really. Not in the same
Oh.
part. That's the same thing. This character wants something truly unique, something no one else has that ties into that clothes reference I just made.
Hmm.
I'm going to give you a hint.
Madame
Also,
Medusa.
no, this character is a villain.
Cruella.
Cruella, yes.
Very good.
Fun fact. So technically I got it right because Madame Medusa from The Rescuers was originally going to be Cruella de Vil, but they made her into her own separate character.
Well,
Well,
looky
okay.
there. You got a double dosey.
Sure did. But I want you to know that Cruella de Vil was ranked as the American Film Institute's 39th most evil villain.
Oh, understandably so. Wait,
And she also often appears on the Forbes list of wealthiest animated characters.
There you go.
But anyway, Cruella de Vil.
Very good, Sophie.
We had never used her, Sophie.
that is surprising.
Me too. Me too.
Very
So.
good.
All right then.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
yay! My honor is restored.
That's
There
right.
you go. It's because Brenda's
Yay.
here.
Of course, Aunt Brenda's my lucky charm.
Yep.
Very good. I'm proud of you as always.
All right. Well, Brenda, it's time
Got a
for a
little
little bit of Walt.
A little bit. That's what we storytellers do. We restore order with imagination. We instill hope again and again and again. Walt Disney,
Walt Disney, the man.
the man, for sure.
Yep. Well, my friends, that wraps us up. We had a fun time. We enjoyed having Brenda back. And next week we are having our first ever listener question episode.
Okay.
We have a lot, Brenda, a lot of listener questions.
Oh yeah.
Like dozens, I think.
And some of them we're going to need to figure out the answers for within the next week.
Yeah.
I did notice that some of the questions are actually questions about
And-
Disney, and some are like trivia things. We're not doing trivia ones, are we?
I
Well,
will
Are we
we're
just
gladly
doing
do the
questions?
I'm gonna have an answer for every single question that's out there.
Oh,
I
wow.
will gladly
Whether or
do the
not it's I
trivia.
have no idea might be the answer. but
I
we'll
got
see. Yeah. So we're gonna address every single one, and maybe
Mhm.
we might split them up. We'll figure that out when we start recording. But that's next week is our first ever listener questions episode.
And I'm
So.
excited for it. You're going to have to send me the list, though, Daddy. Like, write all the questions down and then send the list to me and
put
Aunt
it in our,
Brenda so that
share
we
it with us
can.
in our notes.
Yeah, absolutely. I will do that. But that's next week. Until then, I'm Mike. She's Sophie. That's Brenda. He's Grogu. And we hope you all have a great week. And we will
See
see
you
you
on
on
the
the
road.
road.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.